we got some football, and we only get on here to talk football if the Giants are miraculously having success,
or there's drama,
and we got all of the drama. ESPN, with a culmination of their very talented reporters, are reporting that troubled Washington Commanders owner Dan Snyder told an associate that while all the pressure is going on to get him kicked out of the league, that he has enough secrets to blow up several NFL team owners, as well as the league office and NFL commissioner Roger Goodell. I love it. I love when a guy gets cornered like this and he's like trying to punch his way out and everything like that. But I want to start the complete reckless speculation game here. We have nothing to lose in this capacity. What do you think the dirt is?
Well, here's the thing, and this is where just living a long life is fun.
Yeah.
Because I have no connection to the life of upscale billionaires and corporate people and the life they live. I didn't grow up that way. I chose a very different life, and I've had like no exposure to it.
Yeah.
What I have had exposure to is gangster shit. And like after story of like high level business stuff and gangster shit is exactly the same.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what some gangster ass dude does when he knows he's about to get locked up, when he knows he's about to get his ass kicked, when he knows he ripped off the wrong person. Yes, I'm saying he for most of this because, usually terrible shit is male. Look at the story we're talking about. So that's just what it seems like to me. It seems like some dude who's had a lot of fucking power, a lot of influence, a lot of money, who sees, he's been getting picked on in his mind, these psychotic minds of these people. He thinks he's been getting picked on by other owners and people, and they don't see the really good things that I do, and blah, blah, blah. And God knows with the circle of people they have around them, what these guys can convince themselves of. It's not like there's someone still poking around his crew that's like, hey, Dan, take it down a peg. All right, fella. Like no one's allowed to do that anymore there. And they surround themselves with it. So that's what it reads like to me. It reads like, the heat is really on, where he really saw that he could lose his shit. It's so, he's been a public embarrassment for years. Like, even if you have a cursory knowledge of the NFL, he's known as like the worst fucking owner and the sleaziest owner and the worst organization. It's kind of like well known. So when he sees himself being taken out of the mix, he's going to say this shit. And if there is some dirt, like, I don't know. I mean, there's just some like rich guy stuff that I'm sure they're going to manage behind closed doors anyway. Like, that's how this stuff works. Like, it doesn't get him anywhere by embarrassing like 29 other billionaires. There's some rich guy bars of soap in a sock kind of thing that'll happen to him if that goes down. So that's what it feels like to me. Like everybody else, like he's just, scared and, kind of a wimp. And this is how like these types of dudes act. Like, I don't know. And I'll never know. We'll never know,
I think it's amazing that the NFL owners can't agree on bleeping anything, how to handle player suspensions, how to handle all of this stuff. Like, there's only two things that they agree on. How do we make this thing worth $100 billion and let's all get rid of Dan Snyder? So it's like those two things come together. Heck, they even got Bezos involved this year to be like, how do we get the hush money up to such a level that this guy can go quietly into the night?
Yeah. Well, I mean, so if that's the case and they've been pandering to him so long, do you think there's, something behind his allegations of him having dirt?
Oh, I mean, there's 100% dirt. I don't think that you can accomplish anything of that magnitude financially in this country without having like a little bit of shady practices going on. Whether that be like bookkeeping, whether that be whatever happening. Allegedly, sprinkle that everywhere just so that I don't need to get black bagged at my front door. So the NFL is too powerful for all that, but. No, I mean, like I'm sure that there's a lot of bodies buried. You don't build something that big without some stuff going down along the way.
I mean, it could even be like real, like you hire a private investigator about anyone. You might turn up like a second family, some Robert Kraft, tug job type places type stuff going on. It can even be like things we don't even consider,
Yeah.
like what if someone's secretly doing very altruistic liberal donations?
Oh
That's what he
no,
has on him.
that's the. I super wonder when
this guy put money towards diversity. Get him out of here.
This guy gave away his entire fortune and watched like
What
the
a piece of
Patagonia
shit.
guy is secretly like the owner of the Seahawks.
Oh, dude, the Patagonia guy is he's in like a cellar right now, like being tortured for what he did. I don't know what happened to
It's
him.
not allowed in this America.
No,
Oh
I'm
my
scared.
goodness.
Good thing he can climb mountains because he's gonna have to
That's right.
go to the top of one to survive.
Oh man, I super wonder though with the NFL at what point it's gonna happen as society moves forward. Like at some point, it's not going to be the like aristocratic thing. Like I feel like they're going to get to a point where the dollars are going to start to be impacted because they don't give a fuck about any social causes or anybody outside of themselves.
It's you would like to think that, and I'm certainly. Let's just take this for example. I turned down writing my NFL thing for Spin this year because of my objection to the NFL going into this season. I'm like, I might get suckered into watching it or a fantasy league, but I'm not going to like openly pander to it this year. And apparently I was not the only one who turned down the article this year. There was a handful of people. So, I mean, there is like a growing sentiment. And I do think there's going to be a growing group of people who are going to willingly ignore the league because of that. But I think they know that, and I think they've read the reports and they know the demographics and they know who they're losing and who they're retaining, and they're comfortable with that. And I think that's where the decision is being made. And it's like, they're just like, hey, fuck the NBA audience. We're going for the NASCAR audience and we're going to keep this up. And NASCAR has plenty of fucking fans. So I'm afraid like that is probably more realistically the case.
It's super interesting in that, and it may not even be those people because there's rumors that they want to have 2 teams in London and 2 teams in Germany to try to create a whole other division. So maybe they're trying to jump off of the boat. They're like, all right, we're kind of pissing off the Northeast here a little bit, or like the West Coast. Let's kind of move over to people that don't know what our bag is.
Let's move over to the far right Germans. Oh, good.